Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 3 of What If Naruto Was Neglected by Everyone. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also go ahead and check out a new episode of What If Kaguya Was Naruto's Mother and enjoy. And I also did a new episode of What If Naruto Returned Different after his training trip, so go ahead and enjoy it as well guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you're hearing my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support guys. And also go ahead and check out Anime King 2. I post a new episode of What If Aizuna Uchiha Was Naruto's Ancestor, and enjoy guys. And also stay in tune, I'm going to be posting something new over on Anime King 2 for you guys to enjoy. And yeah, without further ado, let's start this new episode. Begin the intro.
I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their
So the last part we left off, Madara has been training Naruto for 2 years with the help of the Zetsus. As he waited until Naruto was 8 years old, he then implanted the Sharingan mixed with Hoshirama's DNA with 2 Sharingan after the Uchiha massacre from a family. The both of their eyes bonded pretty well. That means Naruto's eyes will not suffer from the effect of blindness. And once he awakened his Mangeto, it will be the eternal Mangeto Sharingan. He also implanted Hoshirama cells inside of Naruto. Once that was over, a couple weeks later, Naruto awakened his Sharingan in one of the many hard training sessions where he thought that Zetsu was about to kill him. As Madara then teach Naruto in the abilities of the Sharingan and also teach him about the Mokiton and all that. Naruto's relationship with Menma has also grown as Menma stick by his side no matter what. Even though the people of the village cannot catch Naruto to hurt him anymore, they still try, but they couldn't. So things was peaceful and settling in these years. And also Menma. Liz and Menma's mother also died, as she passed away from an illness that she had that not even Tsunade could heal. It was slowly killing her and it finally did. And those were the crucial moments as Naruto stood by Menma's side as the both of them bond became more stronger. Madara also entered Naruto's mindscape as he subdued the Nine Tails, as the Nine Tails was beyond pissed to see Madara here, as he wanted to rip him to shreds. But Madara put him to sleep, and also making Naruto able to draw on a large amount of his chakra, but not too much or it will drive him insane. Once those 2 years are up, Madara called Naruto back to the hideout, as Zetsu brought him there. Madara then tried to kill Naruto in a disguise, as he was wearing a cloak, as Naruto ended up killing him. In the end, the disguise was revealed, as Naruto was crying as he asked Madara why did he betray him, as Madara told him that he knew he was going to die anyways, so he did it for him to get those, as Naruto had 2 X with rings in his eyes, successfully activating his eternal Mangeto Sharingan as Naruto buried Madara's body. The control over the Nine Tails was broken as Naruto went into his mindscape as he activated his Sharingan, as the fox looked at him with pure shock and anger and rage. The words that Madara told him ring through his mind that the fox was nothing more than a beast that needs to be controlled, so Naruto put it under a genjutsu, as the fox collapsed again and went to sleep. Naruto then went back to Konoha as he informed Menma everything. He told him, as Menma told Naruto that he will stick by his side and whatever he chooses to do, as long as Liz is able to come with him. As Menma did not like the family, as he couldn't believe how the family let people treated Naruto, and he could have been in the same situation if it was him, so that is why he hated them. As Naruto and Menma then begin their training. So yeah guys, that was basically the last part we left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself, so let's start this new episode. We start this episode at the hideout, as someone fly as they slam into the wall, as he quickly lifts his head above the ground. As you could see his yellow hair and his purple eyes as he picked up himself. He then let out a primal scream as fire blazed around him. He then raised his hand in the air and created a massive fireball that was the size of one of Jiraiya's supermassive Rasengan. As he threw it over to the direction that he threw it, someone stood there. As the person looked up at the massive fireball, he then speed through hand sign at incredible speed. As he took in a deep breath, fire style, fire inferno, he said, as he released stream of fire from his mouth that clashed with the fireball, as both attacks exploded as dust and smoke was in the area. As the boy with the purple eyes jumped up, as he was now on a rock formation as he looked down in the smoke. His eyes then spotted something, as he held his hand in the air, this time cackle of lightning danced around his body, as the lightning cackled around his body, to his fingertips and to his toes. As he then concentrated everything in his palm, as he sent a high charged blast, as it teared through the air and landed with a boom, as there was another massive dust cloud. He then saw two red eyes, giant red eyes in the cloud. As the eyes then faded away, when the smoke cleared, it was none other than Naruto who was standing here, with his long black hair that was down in his back, his eyes showing the three totem Sharingan in both. As it was Menma who was standing on the rock, as he was looking down at Naruto, as a smirk came on Menma's face. Menma then held up his hand. This time, a small ball of wind appeared in it. He then held out his other hand, as fire appeared in it, a small ball of fire. Menma slammed the both of them together, as he was fusing the both of them until they combined. As he then turned it towards Naruto, he then let out another primal scream as he fired off the attack. As Naruto stood there, totally calm, seeing the attack coming. As Naruto then went through hand sign, as he slammed his hand on the ground, a giant root broke from the ground and swallowed up the attack, as everything went off in a boom, creating another dust cloud. As Menma let out another primal scream. This time his eyes were pulsating with power, as all elements were surrounding him: fire, earth, water, wind, lightning. As the rock formation started to crack under his feet. "It's time, we go all out," he screamed. As Naruto stood there, as his eyes shifted into his elongated Sharingan, it was then that a white energy started to surround him. As the both of them looked at each other fiercely, with Naruto's eyes pulsating with pure power, and Menma's eyes doing the same thing. But before they could go any farther, "You guys need to stop now," said a voice, as the both of them turned to see Black Zetsu, who just came out of the ground. As the white energy vanished, as Naruto's eyes returned to the three totem Sharingan and then back to normal, as all of the elements dropped around Menma, as he calmed himself, as he jumped off the rock formation. It has been 3 years since Naruto and Menma started to train, as things has changed. Menma here was a lot longer now, which came down to his shoulders. He has grown a lot of muscles after all the intense and hard training, and his power is now on a different level than it used to be. Both him and Naruto has also gotten a bit taller, as Naruto was standing beside him with his black, flowing hair, and his eyes still red with slits, a side effect from getting all that power from the Kyuubi, mere moments after his birth. As Menma then spoke, "Did you find out who is on the group?" he asked. "Yes," said Black Zetsu. "But one of the members has already deserted the group." "And who is that?" Naruto asked. "Orochimaru," Zetsu said. "Why did he leave?" asked Menma. "We have no idea, but the Akatsuki is hunting him down, trying to kill him, because while leaving he took a ring." "A ring?" said Naruto. "Yes, a ring. Each Akatsuki member possesses one. It is to help with the extraction of the tail beasts and sealing them in the statue." As the Akatsuki is now hunting Orochimaru, but the person that hates him the most is Sasori, that really wants to kill him. "Other than that, has anything else changed?" Naruto asked. "Not really," said Black Zetsu. "What about him?" Naruto asked. "No. Obito still doesn't have any idea about you or anything. Or if he does, he's a good hider, because I am one of the best intelligent gatherer in the organization." "Yeah, we know that," said Menma. "So that means he doesn't have anything on you, Naruto." That's good. Yes, it is. So when we strike, it will be a surprise. Hey, what are the both of you doing here? Asked Zetsu. What do you mean? Asked Naruto. Well, isn't today something special at Konoha? Oh yeah, said Menma. Remember, today we graduate and go on teams. Yeah, you're right. I suppose it's time for us to get cleaned up and leave. As the both of them went to the cave. About an hour later, both Naruto and Menma were back at Konoha as they were at the academy. Naruto was wearing a white mesh shirt with a black jacket over it, black envu pants and boots, as Menma was wearing a blue shirt with a black mesh shirt under that with black envu pants and sandals. Naruto was looking through the window. He didn't have anyone here but Menma as a friend, as he didn't really talk to any of these people here, and most of them always glared at him, saying that their parents told them that he was a demon and under no circumstances that they should be friends with him. Especially that pink hair girl, she was always glaring at him. But Naruto didn't care one bit, as Menma was sitting down next to Hinata, as her face was red like a tomato. As from Naruto could tell that girl was obsessed with Menma, and he didn't seem to notice, as Naruto wondered if Menma is that clueless or he just acting like he doesn't see her. Well, he's not going to tell him. If he doesn't notice, then he shouldn't. As Naruto wondered what kind of relationship they would have, seeing that she always stutter and faints around Menma, as he chuckled to himself. He then heard the door open as Iruka entered the office. Iruka glanced at Naruto and sent a dead glare over to him. Iruka always hated him. Really, every teacher hated him in the academy. Iruka hated him with a passion though, seeing that Iruka's parents were killed by the Kyuubi. And no one was there to talk Iruka down. Seeing that the third Hokage was dead, Minato wouldn't do it. So Iruka hated Naruto with a passion. He hated seeing the boy, and he would try everything to make Naruto fail. But even he had to admit, Naruto was no weak student. Even though Naruto was hiding his true skills, he didn't allow himself to be weak. As they had the test a day ago, and all of them passed. That was currently in the class. As Naruto was wearing the headband around his neck, his jacket was hiding it a bit. Naruto, Iruka said. Huh? Said Naruto as he looked at Iruka. Why are you hiding the symbol of Konoha? That is something you should be proud of. Move the jacket off of the insignia on the symbol. Why should I move my jacket? Said Naruto. Because that is a village symbol. You should not hide it. It must be shown that you're a Konoha ninja. Even through everything, you have passed the test and become a ninja. So do not hide the symbol. Naruto looked at Iruka as he didn't say anything, as a tick mark came on Iruka's forehead. Didn't you hear what I said? Yes, I hear what you said, said Naruto. But I don't really care. As Iruka narrowed his eyes at the boy. As Iruka clenched his fist, this was one of the things that he hated the most, his attitude, that made him hate him even more. What did you just say? I said, I didn't hear what you said. It doesn't matter what you think of me. It's the last day I'm going to be here. Today is the last day I will see your face, and the last day you will see mine. So go along and tell us which team we're going to be on. You're just wasting our time, sitting here and talking. As Iruka wanted to stomp right over there, but he was right. The boy was going to go out of his class. It didn't matter what happened from now on to him. As Iruka then turned to the rest of the class. Today, class, is the day that you will become real ninjas. You have trained so hard over the years. As Mito and Narumi were sitting at the front of the class, as Iruka smiled at the both of them. The both of them has pushed themselves hard, and Iruka could say the both of them are probably the best students in the class, and the Uchiha falling right behind them. I have gotten the list in, Iruka said, as he placed it on the board. As Mito and Narumi smiled when they saw it, as the both of their names were at first with a slash in between them, meaning that the both of them tie. After that was Sasuke. After that was Sakura. And after that was Hinata. As the list went on, Naruto and Menma were 15 and 16, Naruto being 16 and Menma being 15. But the both of them knew If they showed a bit of their skills, they would break that record. But it's not like neither of them cared. And Liz is also too young, seeing that she's 4 years younger than Menma. As right now, she's just doing basic academy things, not yet ready or to become a ninja. As Mito then spoke, it seems like we tie. We are the best students in this class, she said, with an arrogant smile on her face. Of course you are. Dad and Mom are the one that trained us. And to be honest, said Mito, who is stronger than Dad? Yeah, you're probably right, said Narumi, as the both of them chuckled. As the both of them felt something looking at them, as they turned to see Naruto staring them dead in the eyes. As he didn't shift his gaze or look through the window, he just looked at them, as the both of them quickly turned back around. As the both of them looked at each other with a sweat drop. It has been years now, and they haven't tried to reconnect with Naruto, and they don't know what to do. He's still part of the family, he lives there, even though Mom and Dad say that he's evil. He is still in the house. They would have kicked him out if he was pure evil and trying to harm us. And the villagers have stopped being beating him, Narumi thought, seeing that none of the villagers can catch Naruto. So, none of them had attacked him lately. It has been years now. As Mito then turned and looked back at Naruto, he was now looking through the window. As she sighed, I just hope that everything will work out soon. I wonder if what Mom said would really happen. As Aruka then spoke, as everyone turned their attention to him. Alright, now it's time for me to call out the teams. The teams from 1 up to 7 weren't really important to the story, but Team 7 will consist of Sakura, Sasuke, and Menma. As Sakura's eyes were sparkling as she was super happy seeing that she is in love with Sasuke, and also Menma is not a bad guy. Well, she never really talked to him, but he is totally different from Naruto even though he hangs out with him. As she's just glad that Naruto isn't on her team, because she would have hated that after what her mother told her about him. As the rest of the team was called, as Naruto sat there, as he hadn't heard his name, as Menma looked at Naruto, I wonder which team he's gonna be on. As Mito and Narumi were smiling, as they remember what happened last night. Flashback. Narumi, Mito, and Minato and Kushina were in the living room, as all of them were talking. You're gonna do what, Mom? Said Mito. Well, things have changed, said Kushina. Naruto will become a shinobi, and in doing so, he will be a part of Konoha to protect the village. That means the villager attacks will be something of the past, even though they stopped a couple of years ago, seeing that I haven't heard any news lately. Am I right, Minato? She said. Yeah, said Minato. It seems like they stopped for some reason, but I don't understand why. As Minato didn't know that Naruto was fast enough to outrun all of them. Well, that is why I decided that I am going to be your Jonin sensei, said Kushina. You two need to act like you don't know anything, but it's already being set up. And you two are going to be on a team with your brother. As the both of them gulped. Well, said Kushina, we're going to do this to reconnect with Naruto. But what about the fox? Asked Narumi. As both Kushina and Minato got a sad look on their face. They lied to their kids, and they wonder if their kids still want to make up with each other, as they didn't even know what Naruto is feeling in his heart. Don't worry, things have changed. The seal that your father placed on Naruto is quite effective now. It took a couple of years, but it's now fully in effect. Naruto has his own personality and his life back, and the fox won't harm us or him anymore. Really? Said Mito. Then we can have our brother back? Yes. But what about Menma? He's been talking to Naruto all this time, and the two of them seem to be friends. So was the fox tricking Menma? As Minato and Kushina were backed in a corner, what could they say? No, Minato said, as he quickly came up with an excuse. You see guys, it happened a couple months after Naruto was first beaten that day. The fox stopped taking control of him and gave Naruto back his life. We don't know why, but I checked the seal while Naruto was sleeping, Minato said, and he's completely fine now. Whoa, that's awesome. But we could have done this a long time ago and make up with him. Well, it's our fault in that, said Kushina, but I believe this is the right time. We need to grow back a bond with your brother, and all of us need to be a family again. Yeah, that would be awesome, said Mito, as Minato smiled, wondering, would this really come true? Would the family really reunite? End of the flashback. Naruto was shocked as he heard his name. Why? Why did he have to be with them, he thought to himself, as he was going to be on Team 12 with Mito and Narumi, as he cursed himself on the inside. But Mito and Narumi already know, as they were just holding back their smirk, seeing that they already know that this was going to happen. Sometime after that, the teams then came, as every team joining came until it was Team 7 and Team 12 remaining in the room. Hey Sasuke, said Mito as she came up next to Sasuke, as Sakura glared at her a bit, but Mito glared back. Why are you looking at me, Mito said. You're always so protective of Sasuke. I'm not Ino, you know that, right? Did I say you were Ino? Said Sakura. Well, you're so protective. Do you think I'm gonna steal him? Mito said as she got close to Sasuke. But Sasuke simply ignored all of them as he just continued looking out of space. As Narumi was looking at Naruto and Menma as the both of them were talking. Naruto, Menma said, it seems like this was planned out. I believe so, said Naruto. I don't think it's a coincidence that I landed on a team with my two sisters and all of a sudden my so-called mom became our Jonin sensei. What do you think they're doing? Asked Menma. I think they're trying to reconnect with me somewhere somehow. So what are you gonna do? As Naruto gave Menma a serious look. You already know how I feel. As Menma looked down, yeah, you're right. But it would have been better if me and you got on a team. Yeah, that would have been better and much easier. But things will still go according to plan. Don't worry, everything will happen smoothly. But remember, don't show off so much of your power unless it is necessary. But I doubt that any Chunin or Genin that would fight us now could take us down. Or even Jonin, said Menma. Yeah, you're right. But don't push it, okay? I won't. I remember everything you teach me, Naruto. Alright, that's good. It looks like they're here. Two of them. As Kushina and Kakashi then walked into the class. You were gonna be late if I didn't drag your ass here, said Kushina. Well, I almost got lost on the road of life, said Kakashi. Always with those stupid excuses, said Kushina, as she was in a Jonin uniform with her jacket, as her eyes then met with Naruto's. As she then looked at him. She thought he was going to turn his gaze, but he didn't, as the both of them stared at each other, as it felt like hours, but it was just a couple of seconds, as it was like his eyes were boring into her soul, as she felt so much pain and regret and hate and problem inside, as tears immediately rushed to the corner of her eyes, as she's remembering everything that happened. How could I allow this to happen to my baby boy, she wondered. I will find a way to change him. I will get him talking back to us. And all of us, me, him, Narumi, Mito, Minato, Menma, and Liz, all of us will be one big happy family. And I won't back down from that dream, Kushina said. Alright, said Kakashi. Sasuke, Sakura, Menma, you're with me. Meet me up on the roof, he said, as he vanished. Mito, Narumi, yes mom? They said. And Naruto, can you guys meet me at training ground 14 please? As Naruto didn't say anything as he just got up, as he started to walk, as Mito and Narumi just looked at his back, as he was a few steps away from Kushina, as he stopped right in front of her, as she looked down at him thinking that he was going to say something. Can you excuse out of my way, he said, as she realized she was blocking the door after Kakashi team went off. Oh, sorry about that, she said, as she let him by as he walked by. As Narumi and Mito quickly rushed up to their mom. So mom, what now, asked Mito. What are we going to do? Don't worry about Naruto. I believe with enough time, I will get him talking back to us again, and we will be one big happy family. Hearing that, both of the girls hugged Kushina. Thanks mom. It's gonna be good to have our brother back again. So, what about us being a ninja now? What are we going to do? Some A rank missions? Or some X rank missions? Asked Mito. Whoa, hold your roll, said Kushina. You guys haven't even passed yet. What do you mean pass? We have our headbands. Well, yeah, but there's a little test that Minato did, and I also want to do it as well, to see if you guys have been learning anything from the time from me and Minato has been training you. Huh? The both of them said. At training ground 14, when they arrived, they saw no signs of Naruto. Huh? Where is he? Mito asked as she looked around. As Narumi was looking around as well, as Kushina already looked up. There he is, she said, as Naruto was in the tree, as his back was resting against a tree branch. Naruto, can you come down here please? Said Kushina, as he jumped off the tree and landed. Alright, she said, as she pulled out 2 bells. Huh? Both girls said confused. Well, this is a second test. Second test? What do you mean by that, Mom? Asked Mito. Well, if you fail this test, you will get sent back to the academy. As both girls instantly paled, as Kushina looked at Naruto's reaction, but there wasn't any. His face was just neutral. Alright, let me explain further. Your goals is to get the bell from me, and who doesn't have a bell will fail, and you will get sent back to the academy. Wait, 1, 2, said Mito. But Mom, there's only 2 bells. Exactly, said Kushina. But if there's 2 bells, does that mean that one of us will fail? That's for you to find out, said Kushina in a riddle. Wait, I don't understand, said Narumi as she shook her head. You said that one of us will get sent back to the academy if we don't have a bell, but there is just 2 bells. Exactly, Kushina said. Mom, said Mito, as Naruto stood there, as he quickly found out what they were trying to do. He had heard stories about Minato and this special training, not really a training but a test, to see if you can work as a team. But these stupid girls seem to have known nothing, seeing that most of them always avoided Naruto. When Kakashi and Minato was spoken about the long time days, and Naruto was nearby, he could just sit there and listen. And he heard everything, as he was mainly gathering details and information about their life, especially about Kakashi Hatake, the prized student of his father, who has a Sharingan under that headband. But Mom, how are we going to beat you, said Narumi, snapping Naruto out of his thoughts. Even though you stopped fighting a while back, you're still a Jonin, and you're much stronger than all 3 of us, she said. Well, that is something you have to find out on your own, said Kushina. And by the way, all of you will have to come at me with the intent to kill. As Kushina then walked over to a log where a box was there, as she opened up the box as she whistled. Long time no see, she said, as she pulled out a sword with a black handle and a red blade, as she strapped it to her back. As she then came back to the girls and Naruto. Now, remember, if you don't come at me with the intent to kill, you will lose. So, begin! As both Mito and Narumi jumped away, as both of them headed into the forest. But, to Kushina's surprise, Naruto stood there, as she narrowed her eyes at him. What is he thinking? Does he really think that he can take me on? She smirked to herself. The girls might have a slight chance of merely touching, well, not even touching, but coming close to the bell. But me and Minato never trained Naruto, so he's quite weaker than the others. And we will make up for that. I promise you, Naruto, Kushina thought to herself as she looked at him. So, Naruto, what's your strategy? To attack me head on? Kushina asked, as she wondered what he's up to. But Naruto said nothing as he reached into his pouch, as he pulled out a scroll and opened it on the ground. He then went through hand sign, as Kushina saw that was an unsealing technique, as she wondered where did Naruto learn it, as he slammed his hand on the seal. It then poof, as Kushina saw the smoke clear, as 2 swords were there. Kushina's eyes went wide, as both swords had a wide hilt, with their blades black as night, and stream of red running down the white hilt. As Kushina's eyes went wide, wondering where did Naruto get these? How did he afford them? She and Minato always left monthly money for Naruto, like an allowance for him to buy what he need that they can't provide, even though they didn't talk to him. But the monies will always vanish when they come back, so they knew that he took it. But how could he afford those swords? They look quite expensive, and seeing that Kushina is a kind of a Kenjutsu master, She was quite efficient in swords. Naruto, may I ask, how did you get those swords? She said. Our old friend gave them to me, he said, as Kushina looked at him, with her eyes narrowed, wondering, who was this old friend? Who was he talking about? As he rolled up the scroll and put it in his back pocket. Meanwhile, in the trees, what is Naruto thinking? Said Mito. Does he really think he can take down Mother like that? Yeah, I'm wondering the same thing, said Narumi. Wait. Oh, Narumi said. What is it? Asked Mito. Don't you get it, fool? This is just a test. For our teamwork. What do you mean? Well, think about it. Mom and Dad is always going about us to work on our teamwork and us to always stick together, and with teamwork we can achieve anything. Mom knows that all of us cannot defeat her on our own, but if we work as a team, we might get the bells. Oh, I see now. Yeah, you're right, said Mito. As she was about to get up, but Narumi put out her hand. Wait. What's wrong? Asked Mito. Well, I want to see how strong Naruto is. What do you mean? Well, remember, Mom and Dad never trained him, she said. She looked down. But he has those swords. And you wouldn't have swords like that if you're not at least a bit skilled in the element. So I want to see how powerful he is. Back in the clearing, Naruto got back to his feet as Kushina smirked. So, you're gonna take me head on, she said. As she was beyond surprised when in a blink Naruto was gone. As she was looking around, am I seeing things? She said to herself. This can't be. Was that a teleportation jutsu or something? That can't be just speed. As her senses went on high alert as she jumped back, missing a sword swipe from her midsection. As she quickly had to pull out her sword to block a strike from behind her. As she was beyond surprised. As Naruto was just in front of her a second ago, and now he was behind her with such speed and his strength. God damn it, she said, as he was pushing her back with so much strength. As she could feel that he was enhancing his strength with his chakra. But when did he gain a mastery over his chakra that way? As she quickly jumped back, as her sword was now at her side. How in the world? She wondered. As Naruto looked at her without saying a word, he then dashed forward again, as his speed was not so great as the first time. It seemed like he wanted her to see him. As he came at Kushina with a front swipe, as Kushina brought down her swords to block the attack. But she was surprised when Naruto twisted his body in a way, as he brought over his hilt and hit the bottom of her sword, knocking it up in her hand. As he used his other hand and twisted and thrust it forward to plumage right into her gut. Kushina quickly extended chains from her back as the chains stick in the ground and pulled her away from a distance. As she was now a distance away from him, as her eyes were wide. If she hadn't did anything, that would have pierced right through her. Is he trying to kill me? She wondered. Or does he think that I'm strong and I can handle it? As she narrowed her eyes at him again. As she couldn't believe it. Her son was far stronger than she thought. From what she just witnessed, he was even stronger than the girls. As she watched Naruto went through hand sign, fire style. What the hell, she said? Phoenix Flower Jutsu, as he fired off a lot of fireballs. As she wondered how in the world did he know this jutsu. But to her surprise, all of them were off target. All of them went into the trees, as a lot of leaves were falling. It seems like he needs to work on his aim. But how in the first place did he learn these? She wondered. He then rushed towards her again with his sword, as she was surprised when he vanished. He then appeared behind her, as she couldn't believe that was speed, as she tried to block it, as she spun around in her sword. As she blocked his swords, but he kicked her right on the shoulder, pushing her back. He then vanished again, and reappeared behind her, as he delivered a swift kick to her shoulder. As she was falling over, he then appeared in front of her, and slammed his fist into her gut, as her eyes wheezed out in pain. As she couldn't believe this, what the hell was he doing? As he kept on vanishing and reappearing, and hitting her all over. After a while she realized what he was doing. He was switching with the leaves. That is why he aimed at the tree, to make the leaf ruffles and fell to the ground. Damn it, she said. But how? You need precise chakra control to perform a substitution like that, especially with something so small. as Naruto reappeared in front of her and kneed her right in the face. As Narumi was watching as she got up, as Mito got up as well. "We have to help mom." "Huh?" said Mito. "Well, I know this is a test, but he's going too hard. Remember, Naruto doesn't like us all that much. What if he..." "No, it doesn't matter what. Naruto won't really hurt mom, right?" Mito said, as Narumi narrowed her eyes. As Naruto kneed Kushina in the face, she fell to the ground. As she watched him jumped up in the air, as he brought down his swords with all his might. As Kushina sent her chain upwards to capture him, but he vanished again with the leaves as he was coming down. As Kushina closed her eyes, as she thought her life was over. As Mito and Narumi burst through the trees, as they were going to stop them. But when they arrived, they saw Naruto's swords implanted, but it was not in their mother. It was in the ground, as both of them let out a sigh of relief, as Kushina slowly opened her eyes as she saw both swords right at the side of her head. It seemed like he changed its trajectory at the last moment, as she let out a sigh of relief. "I guess we won," said Naruto in a cold tone, as he had the bells in his hands. As he picked up his swords, as Kushina got to her feet. "I have to tell Minato about this. We need to talk to Naruto. Something is wrong, and we need to find out how did they get so strong. But for now, I guess they did won." "Wait, no they didn't. That wasn't the real reason of the exam." "Well, actually Naruto," said Kushina, but she was surprised when Naruto threw the two bells to both girls. As both Narumi and Mito caught the bells. "Huh? What are you doing?" the both of them said. "You wanted to test us on our teamwork. You already see that I'm strong enough, and I know that you train your daughters. So yeah, you know how strong they are." As both Mito and Narumi felt a bit sad hearing him calling them Kushina's daughter instead of his sisters. "You know how strong they are, so it doesn't need to go any farther. I have given them the bells that I won myself. So I think that would be enough to show that, if anything, we will work as a team." "So, is this over?" Naruto asked, as Kushina was baffled by how smart he has gotten. "Well, I suppose you're right," she said, as he then turned and started to walk away. "Wait, Naruto," Kushina said. "What is it?" he asked. "Could you mind coming back to the Hokage's tower in about an hour?" As Naruto didn't answer, but he vanished. "I wonder if that was a yes," Mito said out loud. "Who knows?" said Narumi. "Well, at least he didn't kill me," said Kushina as she chuckled, as the girls looked at her. "Really, Mom?" "Well, that shows that he doesn't have the intention to kill any of us," said Kushina. "Well, even if Naruto was bad, I didn't think he would want to kill us, right? Well, the things we have done to him." Kushina shook her head. "Enough about that. You guys are on Team 12 now, and you're official shinobis. So be proud of yourself, girls." As both Narumi and Mito smiled. About 30 minutes later, "He did what? How is that even possible?" Minato asked. "Yeah, I have no idea. It seems like he has been getting training from someone else, and he's far stronger than any of us thought. I believe if he fought the two girls right now, even with the technique that you teach him, he'll be able to defeat them quickly." "He's that strong?" said Minato. "Yeah, he's that strong." "Where is he now?" "Well, I told him to come to the office, that we need to talk to him in about an hour. So I wonder if he's gonna come," said Kushina. "I wonder as well," said Minato. "Right now, we have done so much for him to hate us. So I just hope that he doesn't that badly. If we can still create some kind of relationship with him." Meanwhile, on the Hokage's monument, both Menma and Naruto were sitting down on top of the first Hokage's head. "So what did he say?" asked Naruto. "Well, he told us about a test that we're going to take tomorrow." "Huh. That's the same test we took today, I believe it is. And it's about teamwork," said Naruto. "You would just have to get that Uchiha brat and that annoying, selfish girl to listen to you. Well, that's gonna be hard. You all will have to work as a team," said Naruto. "Yeah, that's gonna be the hard part," said Menma. "So, you did the test today. Yeah, said Naruto. So, how did you do? Or what did you show them? Asked Menma. Well, I showed them that I'm no weakling. So you showed them that you're strong. Yes, but I didn't. Push forward like I know you're going to do. Just please, don't show a lot tomorrow. I know you love to show off. As Menma giggled, you know I do. But don't worry, I can't show them too much. They will start to ask a lot of questions. If anything, I'm going to tell them that both of us trained together in secrets. I have my whole story planned out. Seeing that I was so degraded and hurt by the villagers, I needed to get strong. And once I'm done talking, I'm gonna make them feel even worse than how they feel now. Don't worry, said Naruto. But you just don't slip up. And don't hurt your sensei so bad, remember. You're gonna need him to go on missions. Yeah, right. But my sensei is a lot stronger than Kushina, isn't he? Yeah, I believe so, said Naruto. Kakashi have the Sharingan. As Naruto stood up and looked over the village, as his eyes shift into the Sharingan, and then his monkey to Sharingan. Soon enough. Before I bring peace to this world, there has to be destruction. This world will have to go on its knees and beg. As Menma stood up and placed a hand on his shoulder, you won't be alone. Remember, I am always here for you, Menma said. I know, said Naruto, as he gave him a small smile, as Menma smiled back. But guys, I'm the end of this episode right here. If you want to see the next part of this, I already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn that bell notifications they posted. Remember to share to all of your friends on your social media platform. But for now, I'm out of here, guys. Peace.